I'd like to address to you a first question, which is slightly out of the context. I was listening to your reading the opening of Exit Music for Guardian Unlimited Books. And how is reading aloud a text which is supposed to be read in silence? I mean, do you discover things that might have been written differently? Or?
Oh yeah, yeah. I discover spelling mistakes. That's the first thing.
Right.
But also, I'm not very good at reading my own material. I would much rather an actor read it, because I'm not an actor. And I know when I write the dialogue, it's happening inside my head. And that is very different to dialogue happening when it's spoken out loud. And there is a difference, and sometimes dialogue works on the page, but doesn't work when you actually say the words. So you find maybe the rhythm is a little bit awkward, and also if you're reading dialogue, you need maybe 2 or 3 different voices, because you need to differentiate between one character and another character, if it isn't all Rebus said, Siobhan said, Rebus said, Siobhan said. And an actor can do that. I don't think a writer can do that very well.
Do you experiment while writing to read your text aloud?
No, I don't often read it aloud unless I'm having trouble with it. If I'm sitting and it's a conversation maybe between Rebus and Cafferty, the villain who runs Edinburgh, I may actually be mouthing the words as I'm writing them down. What do you mean you did this? Well, what I mean is, and I'm actually mouthing it to make sure it actually sounds like something that somebody would say. But I don't do it out loud. I mean, again, I think that's something that an actor does, or a director would do. But readers don't read out loud. When readers read your text, they read it inwardly. They don't mouth the words.
Yes, of course. No, I talk about the perspective from the writer.
Yeah.
To what extent, by having read aloud a text, something pops out that was not suspected while writing.
Yeah.
But fine.
I mean, dialogue. The secret of dialogue is the secret of writing good dialogue is to read good dialogue. So lots of writers whose work I enjoy, like Elmore Leonard, write terrific dialogue, and you can learn how to write dialogue by reading other writers.
Okay, fine. Now something more traditional for me. Now, for many, Edinburgh equals Ian Rankin, and for most, if not for all, Ian Rankin equals Edinburgh. Have you ever thought of crossing the
divide,
the Lothian borders,
going outside? Yeah, I mean, one of the nice things about the new character I've just invented, who's a member of the police complaints department, he's internal affairs, he's a cop who investigates other cops.
What's the name of?
The new book is called The Complaints, and the new character is called Malcolm Fox. The
nice thing in September.
Yeah,
it's a very.
It was just published in the UK, really just published in the last couple of months. It's had very good feedback, very good reviews. But the nice thing about the Complaints as a department is that they can work outside Edinburgh. So if there's a problem with the police in Glasgow, a problem with the police in Aberdeen, then the Complaints will travel from Edinburgh to investigate them. And so I can maybe do 2 or 3 books that aren't set in Edinburgh. And I like to take in Rebus outside Edinburgh. I like taking him out of his safety zone. And the same thing would happen with Malcolm Fox and the Complaints. Okay. Not only would he be a cop investigating other cops, but he would be in an alien landscape, a city he didn't know.
Now, a question that I'm certain you were asked a million times. Exit Music marked the finish of the John Rebus career, of Inspector Rebus' career, isn't it?
The retirement.
The retirement, I would say.
Yeah.
Now, does this hold for John Rebus as well?
No, I mean, in real life, I discovered that in real life you have to retire at 60 if you're a detective in Scotland. Rebus was 40 when the first book was published in 1987. 2007 he must be 60, therefore in real life he would retire. So to keep the series realistic, he had to retire, which doesn't happen often with fictional detectives.
Right, of course. They live forever.
Yes, but then I discovered that in fact retired detectives can, if they want, work on cold cases. They can. There's a department, a very small department. Yeah, in real life there's a very small department. One serving police detective and 3 retired police detectives sit in a room somewhere in Edinburgh and look at old unsolved murders. That's exactly what Rebus is doing. That's exactly what he's doing. So in the future, I mean, okay, possibility number 1, the book revolves around Siobhan, Rebus's colleague, and he's in the book peripherally. Option number 2, it's a Rebus book about an old unsolved case. Option number 3, it's Malcolm Fox, the complaints, investigating Rebus, or something that happened during his previous career.
An endless permutation.
Lots of possibilities.
Right. Now, could you tell us something about your writing style? The way you write, the way you proceed after having conceived the basic idea. How you proceed? Do you have the whole plan in your mind?
No. The first thing I get is a theme, an idea, a question I need to answer. I decide, can it be contained in a crime novel? Is a crime novel the best way of exploring this theme or this idea? I then need a title. I can't start writing until I've got a title. And then once I've got the title, I find a crime that will allow me to investigate that idea. That's the beginning, that's the start point of the book. And I don't know who the killer is or why they killed the person or anything like that. I don't know.
So it develops?
It develops organically. And what that means is that the first draft of the book, the first draft, is me being the detective, me playing detective. I don't know where the detective is going to go, I don't know who the killer is. This stuff I learn slowly as I write the first draft. So when I start a book, I don't know. I've got a theme, and I've got a mystery, and I don't know how to solve it.
Do you set yourself a deadline?
Oh, I work on, well, I need deadlines. I don't start writing until I start to panic. So, for example...
Is this a deadline?
Oh yeah, that's a deadline. So if a deadline is May, end of May, I'll begin the book in January.
A book?
Yeah, I begin writing the book in January. And then the panic, the adrenaline, the fear, everything causes the book to be written quickly. And if a book is written quickly, the pace is there, intrinsically. So the book reads quick, you know, it makes for a fast book to read. So that panic, that adrenaline, that surge is good for crime fiction.
And does this adrenaline fall under a specific time pattern during the day? I mean, you start from the beginning?
I start panicking from the moment I wake up. I'm panicking, but I don't start to write the books until my kids have gone to school or college. Once the kids have gone to school, 10, 11 o'clock, I'll begin writing. I'll stop when they come home at 4, 5. I'll begin again at 10 when you go to bed, and I'll finish at midnight. So yeah, it's about 6 hours writing a day, 7 days a week.
7 days a week?
Yeah.
Now, if you permit, a very last question to honor these 10 minutes given. Now, we talk about locked room mysteries, and we're talking about hard-boiled and polar and historic and social concerns, schools of writing. In what niche do you think that Ian Rankin belongs?
That's a good question. Scottish literature, contemporary Scottish fiction, detective fiction, mystery novels, novels concerned with social problems, contemporary problems, urban problems, political fiction. It's a very wide field. You know, nobody knows what to call crime. Do you call it crime fiction, detective fiction, mystery fiction? What do you call it? Whodunits? Yeah. What do you call it? And my books aren't hard-boiled, they're medium-boiled. There's always the possibility of redemption.
Thank you very much, Ian. Thanks very much.